few decades back now, there's this guy named Earl Nightingale. He did a survey of all the success literature, okay? You know, there's all this stuff coming about how to be successful, all this self-help stuff, and he started reading all of it. And he wanted to know what was common among all those. And he only found one thing. One thing. Successful people make a habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. So when I say that champions like challenges, a lot of the stuff that goes into these performances you see every 4 years is incredibly boring, tiring, difficult, tedious, and absolutely necessary. That's 90% of what you do. So I think you lose a lot of people along the way because they think that when I have this dream and it charges me up so much, this whole thing's just going to be everyday inspiration. That's not true at all. It's everyday perspiration. You're going to go in there and work, and you're going to work, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to keep working, you're going to be frustrated, and every now and then you'll get a little glimpse of what might happen. And on most days there's something you can point to that went well, but some days you can't. And I think that's a big key, to be able to mentally handle that and to mentally know that. And I'm not sure we're teaching kids that these days. That's why I love sports. That's why I love swimming, because I think it's so valuable. I think now everybody wants something today. They want immediate gratification. Swimming is all about delayed gratification. And I think that is an important concept in every field. All great performers have to overcome problems. You know, you see Michael Phelps or anybody who performs at a high level, well, they're just talented, right? They have this 7-foot wingspan, flexible ankles, some heart that's 3 times the size of everybody else. I don't know about that one, but I know that during this process, Michael Phelps went for 6 years without ever missing a day of training, 365 days a year. And I know that because I was there. Christmas morning, you know, New Year's, Thanksgiving, you name it. We always swam. And it wasn't something that he was made to do. It's something he made me do. I would have been happy not to do it. He insisted on it because he wanted to be the best ever. Along with all that tedious stuff comes a lot of failure, you know? And I think today people protect their kids from failure. They don't want them to feel bad. They don't want them to hurt. They don't want them to do that, right? And it's a huge mistake because failure is where you learn the most. That's what makes you great. When you try something at the edge of your capabilities and you don't get there, then you have to sit back and say, okay, what could I have done better? How can I do something that's going to help me gain the capabilities to move past that barrier? What am I doing that's not working, right? And that's where you get the most out of it. If you protect your kids from failure all the time, they're never going to learn. And they're always going to be afraid. So champions are very good at handling failure, and that's how you learn to succeed, by learning how to handle failure. Champions rehearse success on a daily basis, either physically or emotionally or psychologically. I tell my athletes, I've got to see some part of your race every day, not the whole thing, but maybe a stroke pattern, maybe a turn. Maybe you need to practice visualization to rehearse mentally. Does anybody here visualize? It's very important. It's critical skill. You know why? Everyone has a very strongly held belief of who you are and what you're about, right? Your ego. And you have a vested interest in keeping that the way it is, so you know who you are, right? And you have all of these beliefs that you've built up over your life, and you have all of these circumstances, and you have all of your parents and friends and everybody else telling you kind of who you are, so you know who that is. When you set a goal, you're basically creating a picture of yourself in a different way. It's a different you. The picture of you as Olympic champion is different than you as the starting out swimmer who just won a state high school meet. Very different. And what happens is your subconscious and your conscious will move to the mental picture that is strongest. So if your picture is, I'm not all that good, but I'm a pretty good swimmer, that's the way you're going to be. If your picture is, I'm an Olympic champion, I will do whatever it takes to get there, I will think about it all the time, I will visualize myself doing it, I will see myself doing it, that's where things start to move. Visualization is key in any sort of goal-oriented activity. The best person in the world of visualization, I promise, is Michael in any sport, in anything. He's always been good at visualization. I've encouraged him to do it. I taught him how to do it in a little thing. And he runs constant videos in his heads of his races. And he'll run them like he's sitting in the stands watching himself swim. He'll watch it like he'll see a visualization like he's swimming, what it looks like while he's swimming. And then he'll visualize what happens if something goes wrong in my race. What if somebody swims differently than I think they will? What if I don't go out as quickly as I want? How will I overcome those things? So he visualizes all of that, and he programs himself so that when he gets up to race, he doesn't have to think about it. He's just got this bank of visualizations.